Sparta was a warrior tribe that, for a pivotal moment in history, was the first and last line of defense against tyranny in the Greek world. No one fought like the Spartans, and no one matched their courage and ultimate dedication to keeping their society bold and free. Without their sacrifice, the rise of Athens would never have happened. Democracy, philosophy, literature, and the historic things that were all spawned from ancient Greece. All of these things may never have survived, for it not the warlike defiance of the Spartans.
Dannis Koromilas, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent this morning.
You are busy. Spartamerika, this essay exploring the different presidents, 13 presidents that have led U.S. through conflict and war from 1950 to now. Tell us, what is Spartamerika about and what inspired you?
So, the first chunk of years that I did a lot of research for Greece Year Zero, the first film, Greece from the World War II and on had a lot of overlap with America, with the United Kingdom. There was a Cold War. There was a lot of things that overlapped modern Greek history with America and American presidents. So, and a lot of it interrupted and influenced. You know, we had a civil war. We had dictatorships in the 60s. We had the loss of Cyprus in 74. What really inspired me was from 2020 on, when I saw what happened at the Capitol in Washington, and I saw basically all these buildings that look like ancient Athens, but there's barbarians at the gate. They're going to go and burn down the place because they didn't like how the democracy worked. I said, Tora higirisi, the ideal of Athenian diplomacy and democracy, we have been turning to the Spartan warrior code, austerity. It's a fortress. The θέλουμε κανίνε, we'll take care of our own business. Σας αφήνουμε πίσω. And I used a chunk of the research of some of the presidents, but then, you know, it was 6 years. 2019, I started it. And the last footage I shot was in Sparti, in Laconia, 24 hours after the last US election.
I like what you talk about because I was going to ask you Sparta and America. It's an interesting wordplay. So I'm assuming the connection goes back to that culture of the warrior culture all about us. Is that correct?
It is correct. And you know, that Spartan ethos, you know, that's inspired not just the 300 soldiers there at Thermopylae. That imagery was used in October 1940. It was used in Kalamata in 1821 with the War of Independence. So for courage, for fighting to the death for something bigger than yourself, it has helped the U.S. Marines. It has helped the West and the free world against the Nazis. But that same imagery and ethos can be used, I don't know, for something like Chrysiavyi, Golden Dawn. The Nazis also used it, and a lot of that imagery in the 1930s. It can be used in the darker versions of it. But up until now, most cities in America that have congresses and departments of justice, you know, Paris, London, Rome, Athens, they all look like that ancient Greek ideal of this is a shining beacon of progress and better thinking and developing and moving forward. And I think right now there's a crisis.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, are we moving forward? And it's, you know, antiquity showed us that it's during crisis that people come together, even the Athenians and the Spartans. So never know
Yes.
how life goes.
Yes, you are right. And that's a great point, Dora, because sure, those dead Spartan soldiers inspired Miltiades and the Athenian Navy to go. So you pass the torch, but let's make sure the torch is being passed with all the best feelings and thoughts as you hand it forward.
And what do you find was the biggest challenge in bringing Spartamerika on the screen for us?
So the 4 heavy years of research, I did get into Washington many times, and even to London, England, and Ottawa was easier. The problem was trying to remove myself and the emotional feelings so I wouldn't color the film, because in Grease Year Zero, I was fair to left-wing politicians, right-wing politicians, even the kings of Greece. In
Mhm.
Cyprus in Winter, everybody was at fault, including the junta, including some of Macario, some of Beoka, the terrorism groups, the freedom fighters, the Turks sharing the biggest blame. In the 13 Men that I cover in Spartamerika, it was revealed to me that some people that didn't get enough attention, like the Republican President Gerald Ford, he in my books now is the best, most underrated American president of the last 75 years. And, I think I'm probably a liberal, but it was trying to stay out of the Trump show actually to finish with a narrative that is historic, not metopireto, in the
Yeah,
fever of the time that I was writing it. And I personally think, and we'll see on Saturday afternoon at the gift screening, that I did honor that code of let history be my executive producer, not a think tank, not a political party, left or right. I did my best and I was honest to myself.
I like that. Well, Dennis, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to enjoying your film. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dora, for all the work you do, my dear.